Sony Xperia 10 Mark IV. Sony's latest mid-range smartphone, the Xperia 10 Mark IV, is here with a lot of exciting features. This device has got all the unique characteristics found on Sony smartphones, and it is definitely here to compete with the best ones in the market. Let's get into the specs and their performance straight away. The affordable nature of this phone is the biggest plus, so fans will be more attracted to this smartphone without any doubt. In terms of looks and design, the phone gets very few changes compared to the previous model. It is sleek and extremely lightweight. This might be because of the use of plastic frame and plastic back instead of glass. Matte finish and sharper edges give a premium look, and the phone gets an IP68 rating for water and dust resistance. It has the 3.5mm headphone jack and Type-C port for charging, and the single speaker is front-facing with average sounds. The fingerprint is placed on the side with the power button, and it responds very quickly when we unlock the phone. Color options for Sony 10 Mark IV include black, white, mint green, and lavender. And, by the way, all these variants look good in hand. The tall 6-inch OLED display is the same as last year with 1080p resolution. A standard 60Hz refresh rate is a bit disappointing from Sony, because other mid-range competitors are getting better refresh rates nowadays. Support for HDR is great, and the color accuracy with deep blacks are really good. For protection, we get the upgraded Gorilla Glass Victus on the screen, and the screen is brighter than its predecessor. Otherwise, the display is sharp at emitting pictures, and its 21:9 ratio is appreciable. Also, the front cam is beautifully placed without any cutouts on the screen. Speaking about cameras, Xperia 10 Mark IV brings the same triple camera setup which we saw last year. It's got a 12MP main wide cam, an 8MP telephoto lens with 2x optical zoom, and another 8MP sensor for ultra-wide shots. The only difference in this model is we get OIS support, and there are noticeable updates in processing. Daylight photos are on point with good saturated colors, detailing, and sharp balance. Portrait mode is up to the mark, and there will be no big mistakes made by the cam. 2x zoomed images are sharp with good details. Also, exposure is great with appreciable dynamic range. Other software features on the camera app will help you take amazing pictures and high-quality videos in 1080 pixels at 30 frames per second, so a decent camera user will find everything in this setup. For a front-facing selfie cam, we have a 8MP wide sensor on top of the screen, and this works well almost all the time. Nextly, we get an upgrade in the chipset department. For better performance than last year, Sony has used the Snapdragon 695 chipset, which is based on 6nm manufacturing. We also still get the 5G support. Though the difference from its predecessor is not huge, we get considerably better benchmark scores. Support for 5G and other performances are great, but the only thing is we do not get support for 4K recording on this year's Xperia 10 IV. Otherwise, the phone runs on Android 12 with a comfortable and familiar UI. There are some standard Sony features found in this phone too, and they do come in handy most of the time. One such feature is the multi-window switch. This is basically a task switcher or manager that comes up for easy navigation and exploring. The processor on Xperia 10 Mark IV is paired with 6GB RAM that does decently well while completing small and even heavy tasks. Internal storage stands at 128GB, and we get a microSD slot, shared along with the SIM slot, for storage expansion. Though this phone feels very light when held, it sports a surprising 5000 mAh battery that lasts for long durations. The endurance of this battery is definitely better than its competitors, but we don't get a very fast charging option, as this phone takes too long than usual even when a 65-watt charger is used. Moreover, we do not get a charger with the phone when we buy. Connectivity features are all satisfactory. We get Wi-Fi 802.11, Bluetooth 5.1, and other general features like GPS and NFC. Sensors like accelerometer, proximity, compass are all working well when required, so we need to not worry about the small things on the Xperia 10 Mark IV. To sum up, the Sony Xperia Mark 10 IV is a solid phone for people who are looking for a large battery, good processor, and up-to-date camera features. But at the same time, this phone also has its negatives like the lack of support for 4K recording, slow charging speed, and absence of stereo speakers. So, what do you think about this phone? Let us know in the comments section below, and we will catch up again with another video. Until then, bye.